Hi, this is Scott with No Room for Projects, and today uh, I've got a tray that I'm going to use to slide in and out of the cupboards above the refrigerator, and you can see the joint right there and over on this other side, and I wanted to cover those up. So I've got a 3/4 inch piece of white that I painted white and put this handle in. I was going to put it on the front, but it would have come out where the door is, and I've already made the tray 22 inches, so it's too deep to fit in there from the front on here. So I've mounted it to the top so people can just reach in and grab that and pull it out. I actually quite like the design. So what I did is I cut the heads off some of these screws, bolts, whatever, and I'll take the finished end, not the cut off end, and I'll screw them in here. That's what I did here. I drilled holes, and then I'm going to put some glue on this to hold it tight. Put it in here, and then after it's in there, I'll put it on both sides, and then I'll put some glue down here, and then I put them down in the holes. And so that's what it looks like right there. So that's already in, and I've already screwed some holes from this side to hold this in. So all I have to do is screw that in, and I'll be done. But I wanted to show you what that looked like, having it on the top rather than in the front. So I just screwed the screws in to hold this cover on. Probably only need 2 or 3, but I put some high and some low because I'm putting this on, and there's going to be a lot of tugging on that. I didn't want this to come off. I just thought I'd give you some measurements on this drawer, or this tray. That's 15 3/4 inches. See if we can do this one-handed. The tray itself is 21 and just barely over 1/4, 5/16, and the board in front is a 1x3, 1x4. Can't be a 1x4. It's 2.5 inches. These boards up here are 2.5 inches. Okay, so for this handle, it looks like it's 8 5/8 inches. These are 22 inch deep, and the inside dimensions of the cupboard are, looks like 23.5 inches deep. Oh. Looks like those are 23.5 inches deep. When I put in this cabinet, I was considering just putting a board like a 1x4 right here, but then I realized stuff could topple back and forth between them. And if you look closely there, you can see that I put in shelf holes for pins in case at some point I wanted to put a shelf up in there towards the top. Looks like most of it's used right now, but I put it in just in case. I don't know if you'll want to do that or not, but the width of each of these openings is 17 7/8. So I just put that middle separator in, but it does have a top. And when I was measuring it, the refrigerator I think was 36 inches across. Yeah, 36 inches across. I wanted a little bit of space on this side, a little space on this side. Looks like there's a good, well, let's see. We've got an inch and 3/4 there. Is that what that was? 1 3/4. Yeah, just barely 1 3/4. Yeah, right there. But what happened is when I was putting in the cupboards, I was measuring them from this wall over here over to here, and there was some I don't know, a little bit of mix up on what width this was going to be. So what happened is this turned out to be a little bit wider than up here with these cupboards when I finally got them all in. And so this separator board comes down and it actually goes out this way as it goes down. And you can see I painted it starting right here so that it would look the same as the other. You don't really notice unless you're really looking. And I wanted a little bit of a gap here for air movement so it didn't get too hot. And from there to the bottom of the cabinet looks like it's 2 and almost 2 7/8. You'll have to decide on all those measurements when you're building your cabinets. But anyway, those are some considerations I made. And you'll notice that it looks like it overlaps the full width of that board of this side of the cabinet. And then this cabinet, I used some screws in here. Turn on the light. And these little things right there, well, I put 4 screws in, 1, 2, 3, 4, front and back. I didn't bother covering those screw holes. I did the front ones up here. Oh, it looks like I didn't even cover those. Didn't worry about those. It was just these I was concerned about. These are some things you can buy, and they're not very much. So those little caps are called fast caps. They're just little sticky things. You can see there's hardly any thickness at all to them. You just peel one off and put it over the inset screw, and you can still see the little, it's just flat, the flat cap. But this one looks like it had 180 in it. So anyway, these were, I think they were about $4 for 180. So not too bad. And just depends on if you want to see the screw holes or not. I just bought them and covered up some. Didn't worry about others. And these little things, little bumpers, some of those worked, some of them didn't. I put them there and one up top here. I didn't put it on this one on the left because they were a little bit, a little bit scawampus. This one actually comes out a little farther up top and down at the bottom, so it's a little bit warped. That's just the way it ended up. This one right here It looks like it's pretty close all the way down, but I put that one up there to make them more even when they were closed. Anyway, oh, and these handles are the same as these right here. They're what they call 9-inch, but they're not quite 9 inches. Just a couple more things that you may have noticed the difference between the two. You'll notice this is higher than this one right here, and I did that little bit of adjustment just so that when I put the screws through there, they wouldn't hit the screws through there. And I probably could have moved them front and backwards a little bit, but anyway, the height didn't make any difference in use, so I just did them this way. And you'll notice also that on this side there's not a block, but on this side there is a block. With these hinges, some of them are like 90 degree and they'll just come straight out like this. Others are, I think they call them 105 degree. They open a little farther, and I think there's 120 degree, and these open just flat this way. So this one comes this way, but this one couldn't come all the way open because there's a wall there. And so after I got it done, the drawer wouldn't come out because it was hitting the back here. So I had to put a spacer there, and it looks like I just measured it to have it come out a little farther. And so this drawer was all done. So what I actually did is I put it in the table saw and just whacked off the last part of it all the way through, and then I just cut off the nails that I hooked them in together, and I still use this same piece right here. And so anyway, there's a thing there, but not a spacer there. And you'll notice this, I had the hinges down here before, but with the spacer there, I couldn't put them there, so I had to move them up. And what else? Oh, this has a soft close attachment to it that you can buy. This one doesn't. There was a reason for that. Right now, I don't have any idea what that was. And let's see. Oh, on the inside, right down on all of these corners where it meets, I actually put some adhesive just along that corner, all the way back around the inside front, all the way around the inside. And then I just used my finger with a glove on it to just wipe it down so it would attach, give it a little more stability and make it more solid. Something else I did that'll make a difference for you is on all the joints, see how this one right here, I didn't stick it to the front, I stuck it inside so the nails would go right here, because when you're tugging on the drawer all the time, it's going to pull out, and if the nails were going in to the end here, over time they would pull out. So if you connect them like this and put nails through, that gives you extra stability. And I glued them right here too. That will give you extra strength going that way, and in the back as well. And on these bottom ones, you can see I put them up inside and then nailed from the outside here into that bottom board. So you've got the strength from the nails coming from the outside into the end side of the board, the end of the board right here, and here too. So all my drawers I did that so that you get the strength of the nails and the strength of the glue inside. And I even on this board right here, these were pre-finished. I don't know if you can see it right here. I actually had to, you can see where I cut these off on a table saw because they were just the tiniest bit too wide. And so I just put it in the table saw and whacked it off a little bit. But they were pre-finished, so they had what do you call it, shellac or varnish on them. And so inside where these had to connect, I sanded, used some sandpaper and went up the thickness of this board, and so I could glue along on this board right here. If you don't glue it, it won't stick to that varnish well at all. And with it sanded, then I used just typical wood glue to hook those in, and then I put the nails in. Let's see. Oh, back in the back, one other thing is you can see the board back there is taller than this board here and the sideboards. I did that just because in the back I was afraid things would tip over the back and fall out, and this way they don't. But my whole reasoning for putting in trays was that so many times people have these cupboards above their fridge and the whole back part of them is never used. But with this, you can open these up, pull the drawers out. If they don't get stuck on the lids, you can pull them out and reach clear to the back. And these, I think they're 22 inches, and I got the heavy duty ones. I think they're supposed to hold like 110 pounds. I don't think I'm ever going to try that much, but they're full extension. They come, you can see, almost all the way out, so you can reach clear to the back to get anything that's back there. So you get full use of your full cupboard just by having trays and having them pull out. Anyway, hope that helps. I wonder if there's any other thing I put on there. I'll give you another little tip too. For that, this cupboard didn't reach the full, the ceiling. If you look close, you can see there's a little spacer right there that's thicker than it is over here. You might be able to see that better. And so what I did is I got I just got a board and I measured the thickness of here so that the ceiling was higher here than it was over there. So when I put it in, these are level across here, but it wouldn't fill that gap. So I just cut off a little board that I measured, it was like a 1/4 inch here and almost an inch over here, maybe 3/4 inch. And so I just cut that, I marked it on a board, and I actually just freehanded it on the table saw. And all the way around the kitchen, I had to do that with spacers because some were really tiny, some were bigger. But once you paint them and put some caulk up there, you don't even notice them unless you're really being critical. Anyway, hope that helps. Give me a like and subscribe. Let me know what else I should have covered. That didn't soft close very well, did it? Oh, there it goes. Anyway, let me know what else I should have done. Anything you've done that worked in the past that I might want to try. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.